Saudi jets hit several Yemeni governorates. Thousands of Yemenis families displaced due to Saudi bombardment. Cholera epidemic affects a Yemeni child every minute. Good evening and welcome to Yemen Today's News. I'm Ali Nasser Al-Khamri. Foreign Minister Hisham Sharaf met with the regional representative of the Red Cross, Alexander Vet. During the meeting, the minister briefed the Red Cross representative on the humanitarian violations carried out by the Saudi-led coalition against Yemeni prisoners and detainees in the pro-Saudi prisoners. Sharaf confirmed the intention of the Yemeni government to file a formal complaint to the United Nations and international and human rights organizations regarding the practices of military leaders of the aggression and their pro-fighters against the prisoners, as well as the detainees and abductees who are being held by the pro-Saudi militias and deliberately handed over to hostile foreign countries. Saudi warplanes waged new airstrikes on Hodeidah coastal governorate. Local sources confirmed that the Saudi warplanes targeted with two air raids Khoha district south of the governorate. The new raids came 2 days after wounding 10 civilians by targeting their home at the same district. In Sa'da, the Saudi army resumed attacks on bordering villages in Sa'da governorate north of Yemen. Local sources in the governorate reported that Saudi army shelled with artillery and rockets private properties in Shada district. Earlier, the Saudi attacked different regions of Razih and Munabbih along with Kitaf and Al-Zahir districts with a series of airstrikes. Saudi jets hit the Dhamar city with an airstrike among intensive flights. Local sources reported that the Saudi jets hit with an airstrike the mid of the city, causing fear and panic among citizens. The new airstrike came within a series of strikes that hit the city of Dhamar, witnesses lately. In Taiz, the Saudi governorate waged new airstrikes on several directorates. Local sources confirmed that Saudi jets hit with 8 strikes Mawza' and Muka districts hours after hitting the same areas with heavy bombardment. The Saudi jets also hit with 2 strikes Hayal Hill in Salah district among heavy flight. The Saudi war jets also waged new raids on Lahj governorate south of Yemen. Local sources reported that Saudi air raids targeted Khoha Kahboub area with 4 strikes. It should be noted that the Saudi jets wage from time to time heavy raids on Kahboub area. The Saudi jets hit also the eastern governorate of Marib. The Saudi jets hit with an airstrike Sirwah district south of the governorate. It's worth mentioning that the Saudi jets attack Sirwah and other directorates of Marib on daily basis. In Hajjah, the Saudi warplanes re-attacked the governorate with several air raids. The warplanes waged the bordering districts of Harab and Midi with new 16 airstrikes hours after targeting the same district with 5 air raids. The displacement of thousands of Yemeni families due to the unjust war on Yemen represents a humanitarian catastrophe. More details in the following report.
The unjust war by the Saudi-led coalition caused several humanitarian sufferings in Yemen, in which thousands of families of civilians displaced to sea places and the areas escaping of the barbarism of Saudi warplanes raids. The obligatory displacement of many Yemeni families since the beginning of Saudi war in Yemen represented a catastrophic situation, especially in the Yemeni adjacent area of Saudi enemy country. Thousands of families in Hajjah province obliged on displacement from their villages and houses, afraid of the inevitable death because of the continuous bombardment of Saudi-led coalition. The latest statistics of the Ministry of Health and Population indicated that the number of displaced families estimated at 300,000 and 804 families since the 2 years of the Saudi war in Yemen. The International Amnesty Organization said that the Saudi war in Yemen led to displacement around 3 million persons to the adjacent governorates in which there are difficult living situations due to the Saudi war and siege on Yemen. Humanitarian sufferings follow up the Yemeni displaced who are between the war hammer and the anvil of displacement. This is the Saudi unjust war on both in Yemen. Under international community silence, that gift for Saudi aggression a green light to continue in its valuation on the Yemeni people.
Cholera epidemic that is sweeping Yemen is out of control and affects at least one child every minute, according to Save the Children organization. Here is a report.
120,000 of cholera suspected cases in Yemen have been reported, half of them children, who are paying the highest price for the Saudi war on Yemen. How many have had the diseases or died of it were already malnourished, according to the UNICEF latest report. Save the Children organization also confirmed that the epidemic of cholera, which is sweeping Yemen, is now out of control, and that at least one child is infected every minute, and more than 30 people die every day from the disease, including children, most of whom are severely malnourished and are more vulnerable to disease because of their weak immune systems. The organization said that Yemen is fully in the grab of the epidemic, and due to the collapsing of the infrastructure, food insecurity, a battered economy and war, patients are unable to get the treatment they need, as hospitals are overcrowded and lack of medicines, stressing that the situation in the remote areas of the country is even worse, especially where no health services because of the war and aggression that led to a famine and exacerbates the severity of the disease spreading. While the health system in Yemen cannot cope with the large number of patients, as cholera is contagious and spreading rapidly, however, hospitals are not fully functioning. The organization said also it's unacceptable the restriction on the entry of aid and medical supplies, including prolonged delays to reach the main port of Hodeidah and the closure of Sana'a airport, which make it even difficult to fight the deadly epidemic. The organization called on the world to increase emergency funding and take effective actions before thousands of boys and girls die in Yemen from a preventable disease.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, today's headline. Saudi jet hit several Yemeni governorates. Thousands of Yemeni families displaced due to Saudi war. Cholera epidemic affects the Yemeni child every minute. Thanks for watching and goodbye.